Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for joining me. First up, I take you inside of Ethan Allen and speak to multiple designers to learn the process and how to design your new home or office. Then it's Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry, and today we're discussing their machine called EmFace and how it can help with your mental health. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment is sponsored by Ethan Allen. I am here at Ethan Allen walking through their beautiful showroom. Now you may recognize their furniture for high quality, but they call themselves the interior design destination because they are so much more than luxury furniture. So today I'm going to talk with 3 of their designers to learn more about the process and what you can expect when designing your home or office. Let's explore this store. I am now joined by Kim Long, who is an interior designer here at Ethan Allen. Hello, Kim.
Hi, Jessica.
How's it going?
Good, thank you.
Well, look, we are in this beautiful space. I love walking around your showroom because it is so inspiring.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off. When someone wants to get a design, where do they even start trying to figure out what their vision is?
Actually, that's not an uncommon question, and it's sometimes the hardest part. We have clients that come in with inspiration photos. They kind of know what they want. And then we have clients who have absolutely no idea. That's why our showroom is set up in lifestyles. So we can walk through the design center. We can kind of get a feel for what they're liking or not liking, and then we can go from there.
I love that, and I know that you have a lot of experience doing this with this company in particular. So I want to kind of dive into your mind a bit.
Sure.
What are you thinking when you are putting together designs and masterpieces for people?
Well, what we're thinking about most is the client. What do you like? What do you need? How are you going, if we're doing one room, how are you going to use this room? Who all is going to be using this room? We need to know your budget.
Right.
We need to know your timeline. So all of those important things that make living in your home comfortable for you.
Right, and you talked about rooms and how they're kind of sectioned off in lifestyles. But what if someone doesn't want an entire room and maybe they want an isolated piece like this beautiful couch we're sitting on? How would they go about that?
This is our Callista sectional, and it's new, and it's going over extremely well right now. You can just do one piece and we'll help you as much or as little as you'd like.
Okay, that's great. And once that vision is kind of outlined, you get the questions that you need. What is the next step in the design process?
Generally at that point, if possible, we suggest a home call where we actually are out at your house. It helps us to see your lighting because that's going to affect the color. It helps us to see pieces you may want to keep. But then we also have clients that are moving here. We're working from blueprints, so we can't do the home call.
Okay, well that's really exciting. Well, thank you so much, Kim.
You're welcome.
It's time to continue talking to designers.
Okay.
I am now over in another beautiful room here at Ethan Allen, and I am joined by Anna Caller, who is an interior designer. Hey there, Anna.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, so I hear that you take a lot of pride in kind of solving design puzzles. What does that mean?
When you go into most furniture stores, you tend to come home with a look that people recognize from that store. But when you have your home designed by Ethan Allen, it looks like you've designed it because we can work with your design, your aesthetic, your style, and make it feel like yours.
Oh, I love that. And so as people are doing that design process, what can they expect from the process?
A lot of customizations. So we can change fabrics, we can change wood stains, often we can have nail heads, and that can change the look of it as well. It's just depending on what customizations we do will really change the feeling of whatever you're looking for.
Oh, that's so fun. And I know that you have some modern designs that you offer in different ways. So tell me about what we're looking at with these samples here.
Yeah, these are just a few of our samples here at the Design Center. We have hundreds. This vignette that we're sitting in does give a little bit more of a modern style. This is our Elgin chair and our Kellen sofa. They're both upholstered in more modern fabrics, which is on style right now.
I love that. Even like the texture and just looking at the uniqueness in the pattern, something different. But if someone wants these in different colors, do you have those types of options as well?
Yes, a lot of our fabrics come in different colorways, so we may show it in a blue or a navy. They do often come in different colors that we can kind of alter depending on what scheme you're trying to go for. So.
Okay, and in this area we see shades and blinds. So kind of give me an overview of some of the options that people kind of gravitate towards in those areas.
Something that really sets the mood for your space is custom window treatments. So we do have a ton of drapery options. So we can do something like a casual linen, or we can do a satin depending on what look you're trying to achieve. We also offer Hunter Douglas blinds, so we are really a one-stop shop for any kind of custom window treatment.
Very nice. And of course you think, oh my goodness, when you put together a whole room and you think about the cost, can people piece it together piece by piece, or do they purchase everything at once?
Nope. Usually our clients do things in phases. Okay. So depending on what your spending plan, we can also do steps here and there to where we can get you the full design plan, but not do it all at once.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for breaking that down.
Thank you so much.
Okay, on to our next designer. I am now sitting with Jonelle Brehab, who is an interior designer here at Ethan Allen. Hey there.
Hi.
Okay, so you specialize in 3D room planning, which sounds really exciting. So kind of break down, what does that mean?
I think Kim mentioned that we would go out to someone's home and take measurements, get photographs, and then try to, on the computer, recreate it in a very realistic way to allow people to be able to visualize what it will look like once it all comes together.
Which is great, because I know that people kind of don't want to make hard decisions without seeing what it looks like. So what are the different variables you can change out as you're doing your part of the planning? Like color-wise, furniture-wise, can you just kind of drop and place it?
We can. Once the space is built, it's really easy to rearrange the furniture, change the colors, experiment with different floor plans for like the best traffic flow, and because we don't want to just make it pretty, we really want it to function for people too.
Yeah.
So we can try out different options and see what people gravitate to.
Yeah, that sounds super innovative. And so is this an add-on service, or is there an additional investment that goes with it?
It's complimentary. We expect to do it for everyone, but to the degree that people want our help, we can do that. So some people just kind of know what they want when they see it, and other people really want our help to be able to visualize it before the purchase.
Right, okay, complimentary. I would definitely add that on, because I think it'll be fun to kind of build out that process. So is it collaborative? You work with the clients as you're building it out?
Well, it's their home, so it has to be what they would want. Yeah, it has to be collaborative. But I think some people will rely on my opinion or ideas more, and other people would have their own strong ideas, but it just depends on the customer.
Yeah, and so what is the best way to start this process? Should they make an appointment or just stop by the store to speak with you all?
They can just stop by the store, but we do prefer appointments, and then we can have time set aside for that person and be prepared, and maybe we've even talked about a few things to get us started before they come to the house, or we might even start with going to them. So either way, they can call, come in.
Yeah, and just have a good time. I love it. Well, thank you so much for breaking down the 3D planning and so much more. And if you would like more information about Ethan Allen, they are really passionate about creating a very seamless process for you. So come by and visit these designers and start planning out your next amazing room. And I'll see you after the break. This segment is sponsored by Ethan Allen.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Welcome to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. And today we're going to talk about EmFace, which is the trendy product right now that is helping people with their skin and muscle at the same time, receiving treatment that's non-invasive. So today we're going to learn how this treatment can help improve your mental health. Let's do it. I am now joined by Sean Goddard, who is the owner of Viking Psychiatry and Wellness, and also Isabella Goddard, who is the clinical wellness advocate. How are you guys doing?
Good.
How are you?
Good. Okay, so we have some exciting stuff to talk about. As we can see behind us, we have this EmFace, which all this really cool machine and devices to help what, Sean?
Well, really, it's to help the face and to help how we feel about ourselves. You know, a lot of people, when they look at this technology, they go, this really belongs in like an aesthetic, a med spa type clinic. Why do you have this at Viking Psychiatry and Wellness? But we know a couple of things. Number one, the way we feel about ourselves and our appearance also affects our mental health. And as well, this machine offers some amazing treatment options for like sleep apnea, TMJ, and some things that can really affect people's everyday life.
Right, and I think that people are really trying to find alternative solutions that are non-invasive to get the look and the feel that they want. They can gradually do over time instead of waiting for that big epic, oh my God, is that my face moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at a lot of the options that we have, we're introducing foreign agents into our body, or what we're doing is we're cutting into our body, right, and causing more damage, scarring, and that type of stuff to get a look. And the idea is can we cause improvement and not have to cut or inject or do those types of things?
Yes, and this is part of the pillar of your wellness side that you added. And as you said, wellness and aesthetics go together because it's all about the source of mental health, right? That connection.
Absolutely. For example, one of the things that I talked about that we can treat with this is TMJ. And when you think, oh, well, TMJ, how does that affect somebody's everyday life? Isabella here actually has suffered with TMJ her entire life, and it's something that can be extremely difficult to treat. And often it involves injections, medications, and we often don't get a lot of relief even with those. But instead, we can use a treatment like this, and I'll kind of let you ask Isabella about her experience with that.
Yes, but first, can you explain what TMJ is in case someone isn't familiar with the acronym?
Temporal mandibular joint. So we have this muscle and joint that's involved here, and it's responsible for like this type of mechanism. And so what happens is we have inflammation, activation of the nerve pathways that often leads to like grinding of the teeth, and so many things that can cause a lot of discomfort for individuals, not only at nighttime, but also during the day when we're living our regular routine life.
Oh, that's so true. And so you suffer with this, and that has to be so hard, not only to experience it during sleep, but throughout the whole day. So first, tell me about some of the symptoms that you have.
So a big thing is like, you know, I tense a lot, so that includes like my shoulders, my neck, and my biggest thing is I think it starts with my jaw, so I clench all day long. It's very like, very just tight like this all day. So it causes a lot of pain throughout the day because, you know, being that tense all day, I mean, that hurts. And chewing or anything like that, I'm constantly clicking. Sometimes it can even be a painful click. So it's also annoying to every time you chew, you hear a in your ear. So, but then at night, I'm a big chomper, so a lot of like biting in my...
Wow, just in your sleep.
Yes, yeah.
That's
I've actually
incredible.
woken myself up a few times by biting my own tongue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so basically this treatment helps relieve those symptoms. Okay, so will you just demonstrate for me with this pad, the placement of it, and kind of how the machine works to relieve you?
Yeah. So how we do it, how we measure it, is we kind of look at like, you see where I poke it?
Wow.
Yeah, you heard it. I know. You could see it poke out. And then so we kind of, I can't do it on myself without really looking, I can't do proper, but we kind of line it up right over that, like chomping right there, right? So then this is about where your placement is going to be, sorta, I can't really see it, but like right here. And so then you just kind of sit there, and when you're sitting there, you kind of, we want to see a bit of a chomping motion, and that's how we know that we're getting good activation of that area, right? And so
that's interesting. Okay, so let's talk about the technicality of it a little bit, Sean, in the sense of what does this machine do? What is it transmitting to this pad to her face?
Yeah, so it's using a combination of radio frequency and what's called high-fez technology, and I'm not going to say that big long word, right, because we call it high-fez for a reason, but we're introducing, again, think electromagnetic waves and that whole idea behind a lot of the treatments that we offer here, but we're inducing these frequencies and waves down into the muscle. And so in this case, you want to kind of think of like physical therapy, right? Because whether it's TMJ or whether it's, you know, we're starting to get the wrinkles here or here or here, what's happening is that muscle, kind of like the pelvic floor, like we talked about with the EmSala, begins to weaken. These muscles do too. And so what that does is that creates the wrinkling and etc. And what we do is we go in, and when we introduce that frequency into the muscle group, we cause tightening, right? And that's why her jaw, she says, is kind of going open up and down during treatment. And so what we're doing is we're beginning to remove that elasticity that's there here, 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 and even here, right? And strengthen that muscle group. And that's what ends up making the difference, right? So we're pulling those muscles kind of back up into the original position that they were in. We don't want to strengthen them to, you know, we don't want you to have like Arnold Schwarzenegger going on here and here, right? But what we want to do, tough face, right? What we want to do is cause that nice natural lift to occur and allow things to get back. That's why we're also able to treat sleep apnea through here, because we target in through here and target this muscle group, which strengthens this entire muscle group and pulls it forward instead of being lax like it is. So then when we go to sleep, it's shown to improve airway opening by 30% after treatment. And so it's been shown to reduce obstructive sleep apnea, which plays a critical role in mental health and sleep and brain rest and recovery.
Wow, that's deep. That is so deep and so cool how this device can do that without injecting. And so you've had 3 treatments so far. Tell me how you feel.
Well, I remember the day after my first treatment, I was going throughout my day and I was like, wow, is this what it feels like to like have a normal jaw? Like, I was like, wow, I feel like my face doesn't hurt. And like, I've really been noticing a big difference. I don't clench as much. I don't click. I know you heard that one, but like that is a lot better than what it has ever been ever. I can notice that. I think it's almost because like this is relaxed that everything else is starting to also, you know, and I deal with migraines and stuff like that, and I've noticed after my treatments that I don't get them as much because a lot of them are tension. So it's made a really big difference for me.
I love that for you, and it's all kind of related because they're clenching, make your teeth hurt, your head hurt, and everything. So you're getting full body, right? And we talk about this all the time, that you focus on the holistic, the full body, mind, and soul. And so let's talk a little bit more that this machine can do. And you have another item. So just kind of walk me through placements of this and what it conquers.
Yeah, so overall we have, like you see in the photo here, there's the forehead treatment, right? And so we have this option that we're able to treat. And then what we're able to do is we're able to treat the muscle group that's through here, right? Because I can tell you myself, right? Like we start to get crow's feet, right? As we age here. And then we start to get kind of sinking through this area as we begin to lose collagen and the muscles begin to go lax. And so we have this treatment, and what we end up doing is we end up feeling right underneath the eye, and there's that bone structure that's right there. And so what we're doing is we feel through and we feel placement, because then that tells me where to place this. And what we do is we target this here, and we're able to target all these muscles through here. And by doing so, we're able to help eliminate those crow's feet, right? Re-strengthen this muscle group.
Yeah.
And as we do that, we also begin to pull this area up, right? So then we begin to lose that sinking. And then one of the other treatment options that we'll talk about in a future episode, as we do that, we can help fill this back in. So then that then eliminates the need for, say, fillers and more artificial product being put into our face.
That is so cool. Okay, so let's talk about the treatments, how it works as far as the frequency and how many treatments are needed to accomplish the goal.
It really depends on what we're treating, and also it depends on age, right? So for example, somebody like Isabella, if she wanted to come in and get a little bit more tightening and all that type of stuff, it's not going to take as many treatments, right? But if we have somebody that's 60, 70 years old that we definitely have that aging going on that has been considerable, it's going to take more time. And so what we generally tell people, depending on what we're treating, is it's once a week, for a minimum of 4 weeks, but typically for every decade after 40, we add at least another week of treatments on, and then we adjust that to the individual as well. The nice thing is that people begin to see results immediately.
Okay. Awesome. Well, this is so cool. I can't wait to continue to talk with you as we dive deeper into the wellness side of Viking and just how you're changing people's lives. Thank you, Isabella.
Thank you.
And if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry and Wellness, we'll have their website listed below so you can learn more about their services and so much more. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Join me, Jessica Williams, on Living Local 15 every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams on WANE 15. Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.